What's up everyone? Today I'm going to talk about ankle sprains. ATG showed me a way to bulletproof my ankles. Listen, once you got an ankle sprain, you're now 4 times more likely to get another one. That's why you gotta take your ankle rehab seriously. I used to have a ton of ankle sprains. I rolled my ankles, my left one, my right one, and with every time I injure my ankle, they got even weaker, even more prone to injury because I rehabbed them completely wrong. There is a better way. There is a way where afterwards you're going to be bulletproof. You don't have to worry about spraining your ankle again, rolling your ankle again, because you have the strength and the mobility in your ankle. The first step you're going to do is simply to begin with flossing your ankle as soon as possible to bring blood flow to that area while still staying in your pain-free range. You can do up to 100 reps for 10 sets over the whole day. It's really the same principle I use for every injury I want to heal. I just want to maximize blood flow to that area to provide as much nutrients to that area to heal it as good as possible. Now there are 2 different ways to floss your ankles, 2 different variations to put your floss band around your foot, and you can just look what feels better for you. I recommend if you got a higher ankle sprain, you use this variation, and you've got an ankle sprain that's more low, more on top of the foot really, I would recommend you to use this one right here. Flossing reduces pain by pumping blood into your ankle and also provides resistance to rebuild strength. Once you're able to walk again and the acute phase of swelling is over, you can now get into strengthening your ankles. We slowly begin to strengthen it and break up that deep scar tissue to rebuild functional and elastic muscle fibers. We do weighted ankle rotations clockwise and counterclockwise. You can really go until failure right here. You really want to get into a deep stretch to train every little muscle in your ankle. Trust me, even if your ankle sprain is already a year ago, you will still feel the stretch so hard. And don't go too heavy too fast, but your goal over time should be to work up to 10% of your body weight. If you feel like you're still very restricted in your ankle dorsiflexion, this exercise will feel great. The band pulling back allows a smoother gliding of your ankle when your knee goes over your toes. That way you can really get into as much dorsiflexion as possible. As long as it doesn't hurt, an additional weight may help you to get even better adaptations from this drill. Now that we have really mobilized our ankles and also strengthened it in the deeper structures, we have broken up the scar tissue, we can begin to strengthen it from the outside. We can strengthen the front and the back of our lower leg that supports the foot and ankle in its function. With knee over toe calf raises, you target the soleus muscle that is directly linked to Achilles' health and therefore plays a big role in your lower leg and ankle stability. Straight leg calf raises target the FHL muscle that directly connects to the sole of your foot and therefore plays a big role in ankle stability and function as well. And lastly, we strengthen the front with tib raises on the bench with some weight attached to your foot or a kettlebell, or you could even use a tip bar. If you don't have access to any of those tools, a simple solution is to do it on a wall. Of course, sledding has to be in there as well. It strengthens your toes, your foot, your shin, your ankle, literally everything that's needed for ankle health. What you're also going to do is stretch the ankle in more extreme positions. By holding this stretch without any feeling of pain, you strengthen the muscle in this lengthened position so that if you get into the position again, you're now strong enough. To have another strengthening effect, I like to move my feet against the resistance of the band to really get strong, working these ankles in those longer ranges. And don't forget to stretch the back of your lower leg as well. And finally, to prepare your ankles for sport-specific positions, you can do this drill right here. Having enough ankle mobility and strength that allow you to get into those deep positions will really give you an advantage in sports where you have to run and cut a lot. Listen, it really doesn't matter whether ankle sprain is already a year ago, 2 years ago, a few months ago, or it just happened yesterday. What you want to do is really get strong in those movements, in those stretch positions. Mobilize your ankle so that when you land on someone's foot again, and you probably can prevent that if you're playing contact sports like basketball, like football, you can prevent landing on someone's foot. But then in this exact situation, you want to be at least strong enough to have the least damage possible for that roll or for that sprain, or even don't get hurt at all, right? If you stretch your ankle and you get strong in those stretch positions, you won't believe how resilient your ankle really can get. Ankle sprains can have so many bad impacts as a simple follow-up to that injury, because your body simply stiffens the ankle to stabilize it because it's so weak. This stiffening of the ankle has multiple consequences. Your ankle has now much less range of motion. So if you roll your ankle again, the injury will be even worse. With harder movements like jumping and running, your ankle will not absorb the force effectively, and therefore your knee will have to absorb all that force. And over time, this could lead to your knee being overworked, and in the worst case, you end up with a knee injury. And we certainly don't want a knee injury after we've just rehabbed a ankle injury, right? And last but not least, you won't believe it, but you're now more prone to injure your hamstring because your foot can simply not flex down the way it naturally does. Now, with all of the bad consequences I've told you about, I think we can really agree that it's worth investing that time to mobilize, to strengthen your ankle. Because if you just let your body do its thing, you won't get where you want to end up after a rehab, right? After a rehab, you want to be stronger than before, more resilient than before, and surely not more likely to re-injure yourself. And with that said, I'm wishing you a speedy recovery. Don't overdo the things, listen to your body. And if you want to get coached through the whole process, if you need help, if you have any questions, simply DM me on Instagram. I will answer there everything, and even coach you one-on-one if you want to. Peace out.